Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning to all of you. My name is Siti Izzati Binti Ibrahim from class TBA2443A. Today, I would like to present one of the topic that I have chosen from my OPM 549 subject titled Productivity Improvement by Work and Time Study Technique for Earth Energy Glass Manufacturing Company. Okay, first of all, let me introduce the company that I have chosen, which is Earth Energy Glass Manufacturing Company. This company produces tea glass, and as you can see in the picture, there are many types and many sizes that the company produce. Today we will look at how they're getting the standard time for their workers. Before we go more specific on the time study technique conducted by the company, let me tell you briefly what is the labor standard. The third requirement of an effective human resource strategy is the establishment of labor standard. So, the labor standards are the amount of the time required to perform a job or a part of the job, and they exist formally and informally for all the jobs. Effective operation management helps a firm to determine the labor cost, the staffing needs, the cost and time estimate prior for the production, which to assist in a variety of decisions for cost estimate to make or buy decision. Other than that, crew size and work balance, expected production, basis of wages incentive plans, and lastly, efficiency of employees and supervision. Properly set labor standards represent the amount of time that it should take for an average employee to perform specific job activities under normal working conditions. Labor standards are set in 4 ways, which is historical experience, time studies, predetermined time standards, and lastly, motion study. As I said a moment ago, I will talk about the time study. So what is time study? It is a classical watch study or time study originally proposed by Frederick W. Taylor in 1881, and it involved timing a sample of workers' performance and using it as basis for setting a standard time. The time study is the most widely used for work measurement technique that employs a decimal minute stopwatch to record and determine the time required by qualified and well-trained person working at the normal pace to do a specific task under specific condition. As you can see, this is the process of preparing the mold. To establish the standard, I have chosen this process as the task to be studied. I am not going to tell more about the process, but this is what the steps of establishing standard of time studies for this company will refer to. So let's move to the 8 steps that need to be done to establish the standard. Okay, the first of all is define the task to be studied. The process to be primarily studied is the process of preparing molds used for manufacturing tea glasses of various sizes. Hence, mold preparation process is chosen as the process to be studied. The next step, which is the second step, is divide the task into precise elements. The designated mold preparation process is divided into work elements, such as element of taking mold from machine and putting them in caustic boiler, and the element of taking molds out of the caustic boiler and washing them in water. The third step is to decide how many times to measure the task. Basically, the mold preparation process is consisted of 10 repetitive steps. So decided that there will be 3 times to measure the task. Time and record elemental times and rating of performance. Time of Every element performed will be recorded, and ratings of elements are given instantly during observation. The rating is the measure and comparing the performance of a worker against the standard performance level. I have provided the measurement result of the time and the productivity of the mold preparation process. This result helps to proceed with the next step, which is computing the average. To have average and observed time, we need to sum all the sample time on each element, which is in this case 3 samples, and divide them with the number of observation. For example, average observed time for the first element, which is taking mold from machine and putting them in the caustic boiler, is 3.69 minutes. How I managed to get that time? We need to sum all of the 3 samples and divide them by 3. As simple as that. The 6th step is to determine the performance rating and normal time. So let's look at the formula given. Average observed time times performance factor, so we can get the normal time. Again, example of the first element, using the information in the table, 3.69 times 0.73 performance factor, and we will get 2.69 minutes of normal time. The 7th step is to add the normal time for each element to develop the total normal time for the task. So the total normal time we will use in the last step, which is compute standard time. To compute the standard time, we need to have the total normal time and divide them with 1 minus allowance factor. This company gave total of 15% of the rest allowance to their workers, which the allowance of personnel needs, return and rest with 5% each. So the standard time for the mold preparation process is 40.48 minutes after the total normal time divided by 0.85. These are the measurement results and the complete information of the time taken for the element of preparation of mold process. To be concluded, time studies can set a standard time value which can be met by the average worker working at a normal speed under normal condition using specific method to produce a unit or work of satisfactory quality. This technique can obtain lower costs at all levels of production because production is more efficient, plus increased profit margin. Besides that, getting a greater output and improved schedule of work. Some recommendation from me to this company is to relocate the mold room closer to the machine. The location of mold room forces the molder to walk for meters. This causes them to get tired easily and decrease work productivity. Next is increase the sample size. The sample size is determined by the formula based on the power of the sample or its ability to represent the population with the predictable margin of error. So to reduce the margin of error, it is necessary to increase the sample size. Margins of error around 5% are common and only requires a small sample proportionate to the size of the population. So that's all from me. Thank you.